Hello students, welcome to basic science class for today. And today we'll be talking about an interesting topic titled changes in matter. So before I'll continue, I'll give you a gentle reminder of our normal routine. Make sure you are sitting in a quiet and conducive environment with your writing materials with you. So objectives for this class topic, for the topic of our lesson in this class today, will be all about, at the end of this class, we should be able to describe different ways matter changes. And the second one is that we should be able to identify the changes as physical, the same thing as what we call temporary change, and chemical change, which is called permanent change. Okay, we should be able to distinguish between the two, which is physical and chemical changes. And the last one is that we should be able to state the causes of such changes. What do you think can bring about that kind of change in a matter? Okay, different ways matter changes. So according to scientists, those are people that study science, okay? They study sciences when you talk about biology, physics, chemistry, and what have you. So they are the ones that bring about theory and ways. They will use a scenario to perform an experiment, and with the result they will be able to ascertain, to know exact thing that is going on. Okay, so the scientist's primary concern is in the determination of nature and properties of non-living matter, okay, so which surrounds us, and the preparation of new substances scientifically interesting or generally useful from the material which nature has provided. Okay, so with the help of scientists, they were able to determine the nature and properties of non-living material, which is matter. Matter, you know, under matter we have living and non-living. Okay, anything that has anything that has mass and occupies space, so it's called matter. So we can have it as living and non-living, but with the help of determination of nature of properties, scientists were able to come about with different ways by which non-living thing changes. Okay, so we'll be looking at them one after the other. In trying to determine the nature of substances, scientists have been greatly interested in the changes which these undergo when subjected to conditions which they normally do not encounter. You know, they are the kind of condition that they are not always subjected to. They don't happen often. When you have the high temperature, high pressure, extreme cold, contact with other material under varying conditions and all that. So physical and chemical change. When you talk of physical change, you are talking about a substance said to undergo a physical change when only physical properties such as shape, color, size, state or appearance of substance change. Okay, for instance, you can only talk of physical change when the color of something changed, or the size changed, the shape, okay, changes and all that. You are talking of the physical, what you can see, okay, the state of appearance and all that. So it is chemical composition. Its chemical composition remains constant. This shouldn't be there. Its chemical composition remains constant. That means there is nothing that happened to the what made up the matter. Okay, it's only that the shape, maybe as a result of it, when you add it to a material, is either shrink or what? It expands. So some of the characteristics of a physical change are, the first one we will call it temporary in nature. Okay, physical change has property of being temporary. They are not, it's not a kind of change that will be permanent or that will bring about permanent change to an object. So does not affect internal structure of a substance. That means it's only the external parts that is being affected. Only the molecules are rearranged. No new substance is formed. That's the part of the properties. And most of the physical changes are reversible. We can obtain the substance back even after the change. So that's all about physical change. That's what you see when a substance undergo physical change. Examples of physical changes: you have cutting. For instance, you cut your vegetable. That doesn't mean it has undergone chemical change. There's only change in the physical appearance of that vegetable by cutting it into pieces. Tearing your clothes too is a physical change, because you can always sew it back and have your original object or material back. Shattering, grinding of pepper or whatever you are grinding, you still have the composition intact. It's only that there is a physical change. The mass changes because it's kind of expanded right now. And mixing are further types of what? Physical changes, because they change the form but not the composition of the material. So these are examples of physical changes where you have when you grind with either your mortar or your pestle, and you have cutting with knife, crushing maybe with hammer or any other thing, bending, breaking, eating, and all that. They are all squishing. They are all examples of what? Physical changes. Okay, here you have melting of ice cream, because after melting of the ice cream you can always put it back in the freezer and it will what? Become a solid. So those are the kind of changes that you can always have the initial material back. They are reversible. That's what it means. Slicing of bread, painting of wall, those are examples of physical change. When you now talk of chemical change, what's the meaning? A substance is said to undergo what? A chemical change when the chemical properties of a substance is altered. When you alter the composition, what made up the material, then you are talking of chemical change. As a result, there is either formation or breaking of atomic bonds at molecular level. Some of the characteristics of a chemical change are: you have permanence in nature. When there is change in chemical nature of a substance, that gives it what? The permanent change. You can't go back to the initial one again. Since the original composition of the substance changes, one or more new substances are formed. So it is accompanied by what? Change, formation of new substances. Okay, new substances are formed. Okay, so another point is that forms of energy, such as when there is chemical change, it is accompanied by what? Forms of energy such as what? Heat energy, light energy, electricity energy, and maybe what? Emitted or absorbed. See that those energy are emitted. When something is emitted, it's given out, or you can absorb them. Okay, a chemical change is generally irreversible. When you say something is irreversible, that means you can't go back to the initial, you can't take it back to the initial state. Okay, the change is permanent and you can't do anything to it again. At least it cannot be reversed by simple means. Okay, Generally, physical changes can be referred to as temporary change, while chemical changes are also classified as permanent changes. Okay, examples of chemical changes. For instance, you have rotting. Maybe your banana becomes rotten. When you let your banana for a period of time, you realize that it won't be as fresh as it was initially. So burning, whether you are burning something or you're burning wood, you are burning anything, that's an example of what? Chemical change. Then cooking, when your pepper, your palm oil, your seasoning come together, there's a chemical change. Okay, you can never have your palm oil back or have your raw vegetable back. It will be changed to something else. Those are examples of what? Chemical change. Then rusting of iron too, or rusting of whatever you have that is made up of metal. Okay, so because they produce substances, they are entirely new chemical compound. For example, burnt wood become ash, carbon dioxide, which is your carbon dioxide, and water. Those are the products you have when you burn wood. Okay, when exposed to water, iron becomes a mixture of several hydrated ion, oxide, and hydroxide. Yeast carries out fermentation to produce alcohol from sugar. So these are chemical changes in matter. New matter or new substance is formed. You have burning there, you have roasting, you have cooking, you have film processing. Okay, you have chemical changes, kind of matter. For instance, you take your egg and put it in water and put on your stove. What do you think will happen? You can't have your raw egg back. That means chemical change has taken place. That means there is a change called chemical change that has taken place in the egg. Same thing, these are examples. You have the flame there, candle flame. You have baking dough. When you mix your flour, sugar, and everything, you can't get them back separately again. Then you have your fried egg. When you fry egg, that's another form of chemical change. Burning of wood, they call what? Decaying of leaf. When leaf decays, okay, that's another chemical change. Then rusting of bicycle. When the metal parts of your bicycle become rusted, there's a chemical change involved. So this is physical, this chemical change. So you can just have a look and see those kind of examples there. Then changes in matter. We have it physical and chemical change. Okay, so physical change versus what? Chemical change. You can call them differences between what? Physical change and chemical change. In physical change, there is a change of matter that occur what? Without changing the chemical composition of matter. But in chemical change, what happens is the change of chemical composition of the matter. Okay, in physical change is usually what? Reversible, while in chemical change is what? Irreversible. New products are formed under physical change. Then new products are formed. Under physical change, new products are not formed. Okay, is what you get under physical. But under chemical change, you see that new products are being formed. Okay, some changes occur when heating or cooling is done. Changes always involve absorption or release of energy. Can you spot the difference now? Okay, changes have no effects on the chemical bond of molecules of a substance. there is what? There is a direct effect on chemical bond of molecules in a substance. So those are like 5 I gave you there. Okay, so let's consider the above situation, the above illustration I've given you. There are various changes that we will consider. The following are various ways of matter changes. Okay, under our class activities, you see some changes. I want you to give me what kind of change you think that is being taking place there. For instance, this what? When you try to blend your smoothie, what really happened there? What kind of change is that? Then when you gather firewood and start burning them, what kind of change is that? Then here you have some kind of metal or iron changing color to like brownish color, which is called the rusting. So what kind of change do you think happened there? So what kind of changes occurred in the above illustration? You have to tell me. It's kind of class activity for you to know much about the topic. So causes of these changes, what can cause physical changes? So you have them here. It can be there can be physical change when there is what? Change in temperature. Okay, when heat is added, there could be maybe the plastic might just try to contrast, but it's not that you burn the plastic. For instance, if you put a plastic kind of maybe your bottle, your pet bottle, you put it closer to where there is a kind of heat, where the heat is more than room temperature. Our room temperature should be like 15 degrees Celsius. When there's a temperature higher than that, you find out there's change in temperature. So what can accompany physical change is what? A little change in temperature, change of states when you have the ice block changing from solid to liquid water. Then from liquid, when you apply heat again, you can change it to what? Steam, which is gaseous water. Okay, so you can spot the change in physical kind of change when you have appearance of a metal or matter changing. For instance, a matter that is always shining, is lustrous, you have it dull, that means there is a change. Okay, same thing, you have change in color, odor, okay, formation and precipitation. Those are the kind of changes you can see in that can occur, or what can cause changes in physical kind of reaction. So here you have causes of chemical changes. You have activation energy. Activation energy is the amount of energy that molecule must have in order for a reaction to occur. Okay, when two matter come together, react together, there is a particular energy they must overcome for the reaction to take place. It's called activation energy. So same thing, reactant concentration, when you are how strong or how thick. When you are talking of concentration, you are talking of something that is concentrated. You are talking maybe the stuff is thick or is rich. Let me use the word rich. Okay, when something is rich, you can say is well concentrated. Okay, unlike diluted substance. So you have reactant concentration can cause chemical change. Surface area in which the reaction occur, maybe is a small area or a large area, it can cause what? Chemical change. Then pressure. When there's pressure, when there's temperature, where there's presence or absence of catalysts, you are talking of what? Chemical change. The nature of reactant, maybe solid, liquid, or gas. Okay, those are things I have for you during this class. I hope you enjoy the class. Be good and stay happy. Bye.